Both sides are going on, by the way, to a lot of one-day cricket over the next 2 weeks. And Daryn DUPAVILLON is in to brace Shamsi. So that's a change of balance there. Shamsi's wrist spin will be missing. I guess the spinners are, well obviously Kejav Maharaj, but JJ Smuts as well.
Oh, has he got him? He has! There's number one! What about that?
Hello people, welcome back once again to our show Kickback Tour. So here on the show I bring you professional athletes, semi-pro, amateur and aspiring young athletes, and they give us a tour inside their kit bags, specifically cricket kit bags. And today, since today is a special day for me, it's my birthday today. I just turned 23. I'm so happy. So I just want to take this chance and moment to thank everyone who has been sending me messages on WhatsApp, everywhere, on Instagram, everywhere. And I've been receiving a lot of video calls, WhatsApp video calls, Facebook, everything. I really appreciate the love from friends and family for coming through. So with today being a special day, I'm bringing you a special guest, specifically for the Zululanders. I believe every Zululand cricketer, they are going to be excited. Before we get into it a little bit deep, I just want to take this chance and moment to thank Rowan van Ransbeck for making this possible, popularly known as Bumpy. Okay, DUPAVILLON is just here. Let me just add him in. Hey, Gigi.
What's happening, Courage? How are you? Happy birthday. How's your day been?
Thanks, mate. It's a special thing to have you here on the show. You know, I really appreciate. I'm very excited and honored at the same time to be having you on the show.
Ah, man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I believe, you know, this might be the longest I've checked the clock since the time we confirmed that we're going through this. I'm very excited. So, you know, just a bit with the restrictions of the lockdown, you guys have resumed your training now.
Yeah, we have. We a small group of us that were involved in the winter program. We were allowed to start training about a week or so ago. So yeah, we've all been full back at training and so on. We're in our final week now. We get a week's rest now, and the rest of the team starts next week. So from next week, the whole Dolphins squad will be training again, and yeah, back to normal hopefully.
Okay, that's great, man. So how have you been, guys, affected with the lockdown? How have you been affected? I mean, cricket-wise.
Yeah, look, it sort of ended our season a bit prematurely. I think we missed 2 or 3 games. Obviously, we were unable to play the semi-final and the final of the One Day Cup, which worked out in our favour, I guess, as we were top of the log at the time. So we were fortunate that we ended up winning the trophy, which was quite a nice sweet end to which was a good season for the Dolphins. You know, we're a very young side, and it's been good to sort of taste like success and obviously build on something going into the next season. So obviously the lockdown cut our season a little short, but yeah, fortunately it was sort of going into the start of our off season, so we were about to have about a month or so off completely from cricket. So fortunately it didn't affect our playing so much. Obviously it affected sort of the first month and a bit of our off-season training, because normally we would start around May, June time. So it did affect us in a bit, but yeah, I've been fortunate. I've been staying with my girlfriend's family during this lockdown, and they have a private gym here at their house. So I've been fortunate to keep training throughout the period. So yeah, I've been very lucky in that regard.
I just saw that recently you've been doing a lot of golf.
Yeah, now that the golf courses are open, we can get back on them.
So how have you been keeping in shape during the lockdown restrictions?
Yeah, well, like I said, you know, I've been fortunate that my girlfriend's family own a private gym. Her mum runs a gym. She's a personal trainer. So yeah, I've had a fully stocked gym that I've been able to train in all to myself, which has been really, really good. And I think it's been it's been a nice way to sort of start off my days and so on with the gym sessions. And fortunately, they've got quite a big garden, so I've been able to do a lot of running work and so on in their garden, which was really good, definitely needed. But yeah, once the restrictions sort of eased off a bit, did a couple of promenade runs here in Durban and so on. So it has been accessible. Being able to train has been accessible, and obviously I've been very fortunate that I've had the gym right here where I'm staying.
Okay, no, that's brilliant. I mean, since you had all those things available for you. Just a bit before we get into the feedback, I just want to take you to this special moment. I believe it was a special moment. First of all, we're going to talk about the national team call-up and first international wicket, and then the Magnificent Seven. So that just on the national team call-up, how did it look like exactly?
Yeah, look, it came as a bit of a shock. I keep telling people we had actually just played the Lions here the night before, and I was on the golf course with a couple of the Dolphins guys, and I hadn't had a really good game, and I was actually playing with Keith Dudgeon, who had been missing out at that time, and I actually said to him, look, I've got a good feeling you're going to come into the side for me. I haven't been playing too well for the Dolphins. I'd been fortunate I was still taking wickets, but I probably wasn't contributing to the standards that I should be. And funny enough, like 15 minutes later, I ended up getting the call saying that I needed to be on a plane in 2 hours' time and catch a lift to Potchefstroom to go and join the squad. I wasn't told that I was going to play, but yeah, just to be involved and so on, I was super excited, incredibly shocked. The next 24 hours were a complete blur. I literally had to rush from the golf course to my house, back to the airport, catch my flight, meet the doctor in Joburg. I jumped on a car with him. We travelled all the way through to Potch. I think we got to Potch at about 5 o'clock in the evening. I walked straight into the bowlers meeting, straight from there into the team meeting. I then went straight from there into a security meeting. I was fortunate to sneak out then to go join some of the guys for dinner, which was quite nice, just to settle down and be around some of the guys. And then I got back, I had to have a meeting with the team analyst, and I think I ended up getting back to my room at about 10:30 that evening. So everything was really rushed, so it sort of gave me no time to overthink it. At the time, I still didn't know whether I was playing or not, but I sort of had an idea that it was likely that I was going to play. But yeah, it was quite nice not to have to worry about overthinking or anything like that, because it was just so busy from the moment I got the call.
Okay, I believe it was just a journey for you. I mean, I can't even imagine it for myself, eh? I'm saying, how did you help it with the jitters?
Yeah, look, it was a special moment. Fortunately, my parents were able to come down as well as my girlfriend, so it was really good to have them there and have them experience it with me. I think after the 2 years that I was injured for, it didn't seem like it would be possible. I didn't think I'd get the opportunity to ever represent the country. So yeah, it was an incredibly special moment, and really glad that I got the opportunity.
Yeah, it was really a special moment, because I would tell you from my side, coming from Zululand, this is like where you came from, and you've been playing for the side. And I believe that day when you had a debut, we had a game, a domestic game for our local league. And everyone focused on the game that we had in hand. Wait, wait to hold the ball. It was such a special moment. Without wasting a lot of time, I believe a lot of people, they'll be wondering what you guys keep in your bags. I mean, they're always watching you on screen, just don't know what's inside.
Yeah.
And you are.
Yeah, sure. I'm a bowler, so I don't have as many bats as most of the guys do, but yeah, I'll take you through what I've got in it so far. Yeah. So I was lucky enough to a couple of the guys that were involved with the winter training. We were given a few new balls this off season. Obviously, we've been training for a couple of weeks now, so yeah, it was quite nice to be on that gravy, and yeah, I've definitely been using those the last few weeks. But yeah, just diving into the cricket bag. Yeah, I was fortunate to pick up a sponsorship from Solly M about a year ago now, and they've been really, really good to me. They've given me bats whenever I've needed. Not that us bowlers need many, and obviously the majority of my kit will be there. So I have the one bat. I only really travel with one bat. I very rarely get to use it, so I generally use most of the space in my bag to generally pack 2 or 3 pairs of spikes. I've only got 2 in here at the moment. I'm still waiting on a pair of spikes to arrive. Obviously, when the virus hit, it affected all the deliveries and stuff like that. But I always try to travel with 2 or 3 pairs because I tend to break shoes really quickly and really easily. But one other thing I sort of always make sure I've always got my tape measure. I think fast bowlers, it's one thing that they have to carry, and I definitely think it's the most important thing. We get hammered from bowling no balls and stuff like that, so it's actually no excuse to have your own tape measure. Next, sort of got deep in here with the Dolphins helmet. Start of every season, we're fortunate that we're given helmets by the Dolphins. I don't think I've needed one for a long time, fortunately. I've only been hit in the head a few times in my career. but we get given those, which are quite nice. Obviously, box, gloves, all courtesy of PR from Solly M. I've still got my white ball pads in here. Obviously, we use the coloured padding and so on for the limited overs cricket, and obviously the white padding for the 4-day cricket, which obviously those stay at home. Probably the most important thing in my cricket bag, as I sort of get to the last few things, is my thigh pad as well. As you can see, my small legs have very small thigh pads. But probably for me the most important thing is this little back bag here. I keep all my medical equipment in there. We're very fortunate that we have a physio that sort of carries all the things we need, but as a fast bowler you're always dealing with things like bloody toes and stuff like that, so it's always nice to have your own plasters and stuff like that. I'm someone that struggles with cramp, so that kind of stuff's really important to me. I keep a lot of cramp block and a lot of slow mag tablets in there, and I just make sure at the start of every season that I stock that up and that I'm ready for the rest of the season.
Okay, that's some interesting stuff there. Already I see there's a difference between the other guys that have come on the show, because I believe the first bowler that has been on the show and the set of shows, the guy that we're dealing with today. Alright, so I'm just going to take a couple of questions, from me. I just want to know, how do you select your bowling spike?
Yeah, look, I've gone through a couple different brands over the years. Us bowlers aren't as fortunate as batters. We don't get any kit sponsors in terms of spikes very easily. So I've always obviously had to buy my own. But over the years, I've tried many different pairs. I ended up breaking my foot a couple of years ago in a pair that in a brand that I enjoyed for a large amount of my career, and that sort of put me off them for a bit. Not that it was their fault, but I started using Adidas spikes again probably about 2 years ago after I came back from my injuries, and since then I've been stuck on them and I've been loyal to them, I guess you could say. I've always really liked them. I've always found them the lightest, and I wear 3 pairs of socks to protect my feet. After I broke my foot, it was something that I took on. I went for a bigger size shoe and put on an extra pair of socks just to add a bit of comfort. I have a screw in my foot that often gives me a bit of problems, so it was just there for added comfort. And I just found that the lightness in the Adidas shoes have been the best for me as to now.
Okay. What are the essentials in your bag? The most essential thing?
Definitely the cricket spikes. Us as bowlers, that's the only thing we really need. We can always borrow a kit from the batters if we need to. I remember some of the guys I used to play with only used to travel with spikes. They'd borrow a kit from some of the batters. Pretty much that, and your own box. Like I said, my little medical kit that I carry is probably the most important thing, because like I said, I do struggle with things like cramp and stuff like that, and certainly in the longer format, I need all the help I can get, so yeah.
I knew it, the boots, Yeah. Like a packing kit that you always do.
So what was that?
have a packing routine, or you just go, whatever is on the day?
I like to keep my bag quite tidy. During games, I get quite messy because I've got so many pairs of socks and all that kind of rubbish. I get quite messy in my area, but I don't really follow any routine in how I pack my bag and so on. As long as it's neat, once I'm finished a game and going to a game, then that's all I need really.
Okay, but let's say after a bad day, does that change?
No, not at all. I'm not a superstitious guy at all, so I'm not too worried about that stuff.
What I was about to ask that, that do you have any superstitions, more things that you just believe in,
Nah, none of that.
Okay, that's brilliant. And then are you probably the messiest guy in the changing room?
I don't know if I'd say the messiest. I'm pretty sure there are a couple guys that are worse than me. Keepers always seem to have the most kits, so their kit generally ends up lying pretty much everywhere. But no, I definitely don't think I'm the messiest.
Okay, just digging a little bit deep again. Who's probably the messiest guys you have changed the changing room with? In this one, I want you to just try and give me in 3 categories. So let's bring you back here in Zululand. The guy that this one is the messiest guy you have ever shared the changing with in Zululand.
Yo, that's a tough one. Have you ever walked into our Zululand change room? It'd be tough to tell you this because there's about 5 or 6 different guys that are very messy. I'd probably say Bumpy's up there, to be honest. He seems to leave some of the stuff lying around. Our change room's really small though, so some of the stuff does end up in other guys' bags every now and again. I think I've left a few things lying around in our change room too that other guys have picked up. But yeah, space in that Zululand change room isn't too big, so a lot of stuff does get left around, or at least feel like it's been left around.
Yeah, Bumpy, a little bit, it's not for me on my side, I wouldn't say it's like the messiest, but you fit in there, you're just laughing there. What often in the Dolphins side is probably the messiest one?
To be honest, if you walk through there on a bowling day or after a bowling day, it would probably be me. My pairs of socks are lying everywhere. I try to dry them out as much as I can. I think I own about 15 pairs of socks because I keep using 3 every time I bowl. So I probably go through about 9 pairs a day. So yeah, I'm probably guilty of being the messiest.
And in the Proteas?
Yeah, look, I wasn't really around the squad too much to take notice. Like I said, it was just I was flown in and out, so I didn't really get a chance to take notice. I think I was pretty much focused on the game once I got there, so I didn't really spend a lot of time sort of in the change room. It was really in and out. But yeah, maybe I can tell you that hopefully in the future after playing a few more games.
Okay. We're just digging deep because some of these people they're here on the show, so we can expose them a little bit. I'm just gonna allow just some few questions again. These are a bit technical. Just being a fast bowler, how do you keep your body well conditioned?
Yeah, look, here at the Dolphins, we've got a world-class medical team. I've been quite unfortunate in my career. I've struggled with a series of different injuries. I had the first 3 years of my career where I don't think I missed a game, maybe 1 or 2 here or there with small things, and I went into a period of 2 years where I couldn't get back on the field. I had a back injury, a foot injury. I ended up picking up a couple of tears here and there. So it was an incredibly tough period for me. I think what was most important over that period was me learning my own body, learning when I need to take a break and when I can push through certain pains. I think it's always been an issue for me is I've pushed through certain things that I shouldn't, and I haven't pushed through certain things that I probably could have. So I think over that period, it was important for me to learn my own body. If it meant that I had to skip out on a running session or a gym session, so on, then it had to be done. And those kind of things are always hard to take because you don't really want to go to the coaching staff and the training staff saying that you need a break. Because as sportsmen, we never want to see as being weak. But yeah, I think over that period, I sort of learned how to manage my body. Still learning, of course, but along with the medical staff here at the Dolphins, they were phenomenal for me, and the emphasis on getting nice and strong, built around my core, my glutes, stuff like that for the fast bowlers, that really helped, and I've been fortunate in the last 2 years that the little injuries that I have had haven't kept me off the field for too long.
Yeah. Because in a series that I've learned about you is that you went through a couple of serious injuries, and that's why I actually asked the question, like, how have you been getting through and keeping yourself well?
Yeah, look, like I said, it was an incredibly tough time those 2 years, and I actually wanted to give up the game at one stage, but fortunately my parents have lived the dream with me, and they've sacrificed a hell of a lot for me, and I think through many conversations with them and so on, they sort of made me realize that I've still got lots to give, and I still want to continue this childhood dream of playing cricket as a profession.